necessary to start squeaking and squealing, I'll put it down. But I just got back from the Republican Study Committee retreat in Philadelphia, and we didn't get in until about midnight last night after being 8 hours on buses and flying back, and just glad to be back home. Is always great, but we had a great opportunity for the conservative members of the Republican conference, the Republican majority in the House of Representatives. I'm proud to say that out of 242, about 160 are members of the conservative Republican Study Committee. I've been a proud part of that organization for the 10th year that I've served in the House of Representatives. Had some great people, some great speakers. Steve Moore is an example from the Wall Street Journal. The former Secretary of Homeland Security, Chertoff, was one of the speakers. Jonah Goldberg, he's a syndicated columnist. You may read him in the Myriad Daily Journal. He has a weekly column there. Steve Forbes, who's absolutely fantastic. You know, time goes by real quickly. I'm forgetting almost when he ran for president, but I think he's beyond that. But I'm sad to say that he's beyond that, but golly, what a great Secretary of Treasury or Chairman of the Federal Reserve. Even better would be somebody like Steve Forbes under the Republican administration, which we're going to have in 2013. I feel very confident. We had people like Rasmussen speak to us, and some other pollsters, but obviously Rasmussen poll is the one that you would recognize probably is very credible. He doesn't poll for any candidates. That's interesting. I wasn't really aware of that fact, but he does not do that. But he's, I guess that's what makes his numbers really more credible than a lot of the other pollsters who are employed a lot of times by different candidates. You know, I think I'll speak a little bit to you about the Republican primary, and obviously how many debates that we had the opportunity to watch that have been televised. Something like 19. I don't know if all of them were televised. The last one, of course, Thursday night from Florida. I did not get to see that live because we were hearing from one of those speakers at the convention, the retreat in Philadelphia. But I watched some of it later, and obviously, as the talking heads speak about who did what and who got an A and who got a B or who got a C. I think on this one they rated all of the four candidates as having done a very good job, maybe given Romney an A on Thursday night and Speaker Gingrey a B. I did have the opportunity to be with the Speaker in South Carolina the week before. I grew up in Aiken County, which is just across the Savannah River over on the South Carolina side, and I was very proud of that for the first 18 years of my life before my parents moved to Augusta and built a little mom and pop motel. But Newt was going to be in Aiken County, and my mother lives there. She's 94 years old. My brother and sister-in-law and a lot of cousins and great nephews and nieces. So Newt asked me to come and introduce him at a forum. There were 1,000 people, and then of course went on to win that primary, 40 to 28. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you probably all know that I am supporting, along with I think 5 or 6 of the Georgia members of the House of Representatives, the Republican members, are supporting the Speaker. I do believe that it will be either Speaker Gingrey or Governor Romney as our nominee. I think either one of them, in regard to electability, can beat and will beat President Obama. As the pollsters said at the retreat, it's going to be close. Even those of us who are members of the Cobb County Republican Party, the Bartow County Republican Party, the Haralson County Republican Party. It's like, how could anybody possibly vote to give this president a second term? What with all that has happened, and it's kind of like Governor Perry when he was still in the race before he dropped out. I thought one of the best lines that I heard is he said, just ask yourself, are you better off today than you were $4.6 trillion ago? and that's really what it boils down to. But that doesn't mean that because we overwhelmingly are opposed to President Obama that it won't be a close race. It will be a close race. I don't know whether we're talking about 51 to 49 or 52 to 48, but you know, he has a constituency that is going to support him no matter what. And we know what that constituency is, and you know, you can, it's 5 or 6 groups that clearly, I mean, the environmentalist is an example. The leaders of the labor movement, certainly Richard Trumka and the AFL-CIO and folks like that, I don't know that that means the rank and file union members necessarily are going into that ballot box and voting for President Obama to have a second term. But, you know, again, I feel good about things. I don't think we need to take anything for granted. I think it all starts right here in River City, in Cartersville, and other great communities like this of working hard and being determined and getting out and doing the blocking and the tackling, as my original consultant, Chip Lake, told me a long time ago when I first ran for Congress. You just have to do these things. You have to get people involved, and we can and we will do that. I don't think the Tea Party movement is dying. You know, a lot of times these talking heads that you hear will say, well, you know, the Tea Party was big in 2010 and made a huge difference, in 69 freshmen, brand new freshmen. I think we gained, we had 87 total in regard to getting this strong majority and have a 25-26 vote majority in the House of Representatives. And I don't think there's any question but that the Tea Party, not the non-party Tea Party, which is just a group of people, just like all of us, that, you know, grassroots, focused on wanting to make the Republican Party stand up and be strong. One of the speakers of this retreat, and I love this, and I think that this really cuts right to the chase. And I've been asked a number of times what I think of the Tea Party and their influence and how they affect me. And the statement was this: the Tea Party is the embryonic stem cells, non-embryonic stem cells that have resulted in the Republican Party and Republicans that represent you generating a new spine. Now, isn't that a great way to put it? That this is exactly. So when the media asks me about the Tea Party, that's going to be my response. Cartersville in Bartow County is great. I mean, I've had the privilege of representing you for now going on my 10th year, my 5th term. And when I was first elected, I had to share you with John Linder. It wasn't long before that the judges redrew those lines, and I had all of Bartow County. And as you know, as we go forward, if I have the honor to represent the 11th Congressional District for a 6th term, and I certainly intend to do that, then I will also continue to represent all of Bartow County. My district, the 11th Congressional District, my opponent is aware of this as well, changes significantly from the current district that we represent and will for the next year. It's 9 counties. It's, in a way, it's not dominated by Cobb County, but Cobb is by far the largest portion of the current 11th Congressional District, and its total of 9 counties. The new district will be 4. And 2 counties will be brand new. So